For logical operators, they are used to combine conditional statements. So it returns true if both statements are true, and it returns false if both statements are false. So for example, for logical operators, we have and, or, and not. So I would explain that and, or, and not. Notice that the color changes because it's a keyword in Python. And if we want to check if x, for example, is less than 5, and want to check if x is less than 10, right? Let's define x. Let's say x is equals to 2. Now, if we put this in bracket, so if we say print x less than 5, and this condition will return true or false, and this statement will return true or false, and this and, if this is true and this is true, it returns true. But if this is true and this is false, it returns false. So for the AND logical operator, it returns true when both comparison are true. That's pretty much how it is. So if we use 6, 6 is not less than 5, right? We are checking if x is less than 5 here and x is 6, so 6 is not less than 5, so this is clearly false. But it is less than 10 because x is 6 and 6 is less than 10. If we run this is returning false and this is returning true. This will return false because both conditions are not returning the same thing. It's returning false here and true here, so it will return false. The AND logical comparison operator returns true when both sides of the comparison are the same. So if we run this, we should get false. However, if we put 11 here, this is false and this is false because 11 is not less than 5, which means this returns false. 11 is not less than 10, which means this returns false. False and false will be false because the two of them are the same. So that is how AND logical operator works. We have the OR operator as well. For OR operators or logical operators, it compares if either of them return true, then it returns true. If one of them returns true and the other one returns false, it returns true. If this one is returning false and this one is returning true, it returns true. So if we run this, we're getting false. So let's say we want to use 2 here. 2 is less than 5. So this is true. 2 is also less than 10. This is true. So true or true will be true because both of them are true. But let's use an example like 6 here where this condition is false because 6 x is, we're checking if x is less than 5 here and x is 6. So 6 less than 5. This is returning false because 6 is not less than 5. But 6 is less than 10. So this is returning true. This is returning false. But because this is all logical operator, we're checking if false or true. And because it is all, either of them has to be true for it to return true. As far as this one is returning true, this whole condition will return true. If we run this, you still have true. That's pretty much how all logical operator works. It compares the two sides, and if either of them returns true, then it returns true. So it could be this side, it could be this side. As far as one of them is positive or is true, then it returns true. For AND operator, both side has to be true. This side has to be true and this side has to be true, and then it would return true. If one of them isn't true for AND operators, it will return false. For all operators, either of them just have to be true for it to return true. So if we use something like 11, which is just outside this condition, because 11 is not less than 5, which is false here. 11 is not less than 10, which is false here. If we run this, we should get false. So that's how all operator works. For not operator, not basically reverse the result, returns false if the result is true. That's how not operator works. So if we say we want to check for not, put not here and we'll do this. So if we use 2 for example, we're checking if x is less than 5, that is 2 less than 5, that is correct, this is true. It is less than 10 as well, this is true. So true or true is true. But because we're using the not operator, it reverses the result from true to false. If we run this, we should get false. If we use 6 here, and then we're checking if x is less than 5, 6 is less than 5, that's not true, so this is false. But it is true for this case because 6 is less than 10. So false or true will return true because this is an or logical operator. And since it is true, because we're using the not here, it will be the reverse of true, that is false. So if you run this, we should get false. However, if this is an AND operator, the AND logical operator, we want to check if x, we're assigning x to 6 here, so we're checking if x is less than 5. This is false because 6 is not less than 5. But for this condition, 6 is less than 10. So this is true and this is false. But because this is an AND operator, we have false and true. It should return false. Now, but because we also have the not operator here, it will reverse it from false to true. So if we run this, we should get true. So that's pretty much about logical operators.